The drone community finally has something good to talk about. This is the brand new Potensic PTD 1. If you've ever bought a drone before, chances are you had a controller somewhat like this come with the kit. This one specifically is for the Potensic ATOM 2. It's a really awesome drone and a really good controller, very high quality. It feels really good in the hands. But there's one really big problem with controllers like this. They require you to have a smartphone, and not just a smartphone, but you need to have a data plan for that smartphone in order so that you can use the GPS functions of your phone to control the drone. So kind of a lot of minutia, but end of the day, it's just a lot of extra parts. You have to have a phone that costs hundreds, if not over $1,000, like the new iPhones that are out. It's absolutely crazy. So this controller coming in at, I will put the price here because I don't have it off the top of my head. This controller has everything that you need in order to fly your Potensic ATOM 2. I don't know what other drones it works with. If it works with other drones other than that, I will put a list of them here as well. Now, I opened this up the other day just to charge it, but I have not turned it on or done anything else with it because I wanted to be able to show you guys just how easy I think this whole thing is going to be to set up and how cool this is. Look at this thing. Joysticks built onto the back, antennas up here that flip up in order to point in the direction of your drone. Overall, a really cool looking package, but this has a lot of other really cool features built into it. Let's take a look at those. Now, not only does this controller stop you from having to use a phone, you don't even need a memory card. This bad boy has 32 gigabytes of built-in memory, either to do screen recording or to capture the footage directly from the drone. That's awesome, but what's even cooler, in the bottom, there's a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. So if you plan on shooting for a weekend or a week and you're gonna use more than 32 gigabytes of storage, you can put a micro SD card in here, probably up to 256 gigabytes or even larger, storing a ton of footage. So that is a really cool feature. What else is really cool is this screen is 1080p full HD with 700 nits peak brightness. This thing is going to work so good in the sun with that extremely high brightness, a lot better than your phone would do on a controller like the one I just showed you. Now this controller also does come with a new PixSync 4.0. What that's going to allow you to do is capture up to 10 kilometers of full range on this drone. Now, is the battery going to last until you get out 10 kilometers and fly all the way back? Probably not, and also that's out of line of sight, which goes against some of the FAA regulations, so you probably should not do that. But knowing that you have the capabilities to fly pretty much anywhere with this thing without having to worry about your signal dropping out is really awesome. Now, built into the handles of this controller is a 6400 milliamp battery pack, giving you up to 3 hours of continuous use. But what's also really cool is in 85 minutes, so just under an hour and a half, you can reach 90% full battery. So in total, while you're charging your batteries, you can also charge up this controller to 90% in that same hour and a half, getting you right back out into the field flying. Now, like I said, I still haven't turned this on yet, so let's give that a shot right now. And in case you were also wondering, inside of the box, we've got a nice detailed instruction manual, a guide that shows you how to pair this controller to one of your ATOM series drones, and a very nice looking USB-C to C charging cable. No charging block, but I'm sure you have tons of those at home. Put away the instruction manual, but I think we're probably gonna need that to learn how to pair the controller to the drone, which I have right here as well. May as well throw the joysticks on real quick. They are, very firmly put on the back of the controller. Let me get these screwed on real quick. Just curious real quick if it seems like they're using the same joysticks in the standard remote as they are in the PTD 1. So just wanted to see how, if they felt like they were the same, which they do. They feel very similar. I would guess it's probably the exact same joysticks. It's actually really just about the same size too. The PTD 1 is a little bit bigger, as you'd expect though, for having this big ass screen on here. Also, real quick, on the top of the controller here, you do have your standard recording button. On the right side, you have a camera shutter button. You have your knobs here to pan and tilt the camera up and down, and also a digital zoom. And then I believe one of these is to change the mode that the drone is in, like from sport to cinematic and normal mode. And then I think this other one's just to tilt the camera 90 degrees up and down, but if I'm wrong about that, I'll put a label over here for what it actually does. All right, let's try turning this on for the first time. Got a little Potensic loading screen here. All right, now it's prompting us to, looks like, set a couple things up here. We are English. We agree to sign our life away. All right, it does want us to connect the PTD1 to the Wi-Fi real quick. I'm guessing so that we can maybe sign into our Potensic account and maybe upload firmware for the controller, but let me get signed in here real quick. All right, now we need to select our country. There we are, United States. We are in America. Now it wants us to select our time zone. That is the correct time. And yeah, as I was expecting, it does want you to sign into your Potensic account. So let me do this real quick. And now this page here is just confirming that we want to activate this controller to our account. And just like that, welcome to Potensic. A couple setups there. I wish you did not have to sign in with your Potensic account, but I do understand why they make you do that. All right, I did forget about that. C1 and C2, while they do have some pre-programmed buttons, they are totally customizable. You can do whatever you'd like with them. So this menu here is just kind of giving you an overview of the controller. Probably nothing here we really need to look at, but now we can go home. It has speakers. What the heck? Listen. What? Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I'm not really sure why you would want, speakers on this, because obviously there's no microphone on the drone to record audio, but maybe there's a microphone built into this or something. I don't see a hole where there would be a microphone, but I don't know why they would give you a speaker on this, but it's actually kind of a cool feature, I guess. If we can watch some YouTube on it later. Anyways, let's keep going. A lot of rambling today. I'm excited about this. There's not very often that I get excited about things, but Potensic has done such a good job with just creating a really good drone, a really awesome looking controller system. Make sure we take our gimbal cover off. We do not want to risk damaging the camera in the setup process. So I do have a micro SD card here. I let this sit for too long, so it says it timed out. But we will re-enter the startup process. All right, so it says to power up the drone. I think I'm an idiot. This guide is actually just to show you how to actually get flying once you have it all set up. So we may actually need this instruction manual. Looks like we actually have to come into the actual fly mode, hit the 3 dots, and then repair the drone. Aha, the lights on the drone just changed. Firmware mismatch. We have to upgrade the firmware, which Potensic just did release new firmware for the Potensic ATOM 2 that gives it a bunch of new features. We're gonna be doing a new video on that very soon. If that video is already done at the time of uploading this video, I'll put a pin to it up here. And if it is not done yet, I will come back and put that pin up there once that video is complete. All right, well, let's let this firmware finish downloading. All right, the download finished, and now it's going through the actual upgrade process. I think I just got yelled at for moving it. Just gonna leave it here. While this is going, this is a good time for me to show you this metric. This metric hurts my brain so much, but maybe you guys could help me. Only 1.4% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So if you're watching this video right now and you're enjoying this content, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and help me boost this metric a little bit. Now this whole firmware upgrade process did take somewhere between 20 to 25 minutes. So I highly recommend you do this step while you're at home before you try to go out and actually fly this thing. There we go. Upgrade is successful. Even though the brightness of this screen is 700 nits, which is extremely bright, and it's probably not even turned up all the way right now, I would recommend you try to find some type of a anti-glare screen protector to put on this, just like I have on this DJI one. You can see this one with the glare protector on there. While you can still get a little bit of the light, it's not quite as harsh as it is on this new Potensic one. But again, this is an aftermarket screen protector, so neither of these came with these from the factory anyways, but I would recommend trying to find something like that for this one. Now it looks like the drone shut off after that process, so I'm gonna hit the button once, and again, do try turning it back on. Give it a second to go through its gimbal calibration settings. Now if we hit fly now, I'm thinking it's probably gonna work. There we go. All right, this is what I was wondering if we can do. Not only can you just push the record button and it records the footage from the drone directly to the controller without needing a micro SD card, We can also do a screen recording here. I'm gonna hit that so that I can actually throw up on the screen here what all of these settings look like instead of having to show you guys like this in front of the camera. So, what's cool is if we click the take off with caution area, you can see a bunch of different settings. You can set your return to home altitude, your maximum flight altitude, and your maximum flight distance. These settings looks like they were probably carried over from my other controller. On the bottom left here, you can change your home point. If you swipe down from the top right-hand side of the screen, it does open this quick menu where you can put it on airplane mode, join to Wi-Fi, take screenshots, and enter some settings menus. This is like the typical Android UI. If we click the three-dot menu in the top right, it does take us into the safety settings here where you can adjust beginner mode that is currently turned off. I'm not sure if you just bought this brand new, the drone, if it would still be automatically turned off. I'm pretty sure beginner mode is always enabled by default. There's some different settings here that you can enable what to happen when the signal is lost. Does it just land wherever it's at? Does it just hover until it tries to regain signal, or will it return to home? Return to home is pretty much always the best bet here. A lot of these options are pretty self-explanatory. They just tell you what they are right underneath of them. You can also adjust some of your virtual fences here as well. Here we can change our unit. We are going to switch over to Imperial. At the bottom here, it's actually some cool metrics. It tells you what the temperature is of the battery inside of the drone, the electrical current going through it, the current voltage, and how many cycles the battery has had. This battery's only been used once. You have your calibration menu where you can calibrate your compass, gimbal fine tuning. That's where we also came in here to repair this controller to the drone. The control mode here is basically just going to let you switch what mode the controller is depending on what part of the world you're from. People fly these things all differently. You can adjust your controller stick sensitivity and the max pitch of the drone. You have your camera settings here where you can adjust your auto white balance or manual white balance, whether or not you want a grid to show up on screen, what color mode you want to be in, whether that's standard, HDR, or P-Log. I'm guessing that's a Potensic log, so it's their version of log, which is pretty cool. You have your recording format. H.264 is usually pretty forgiving. You can adjust the definition of the screen and the saturation. I'm pretty sure that will also translate though to the actual recording that you have later, not just what's shown on screen. This is the SD card settings that are currently inside of the drone. So it's 120 gig SD card or 128, but it's the actual usable is only 117. You can also format and reset the file numbers here as well. Now here you can see your video transmission signal. So this is pretty cool. Obviously we're in the garage right now, so this is probably not going to look very great, but once we go outside, if I remember when I'm filming this video, I will try to show you guys the screen as well to show you what it actually looks like when you're out in an open field. And then the about section here, this just shows you the device model, the firmware version, app version, and flight safety data version, which I believe it said that we're due for an update on. It's been a couple months since I've flown this drone. One other thing I want to show you guys real quick is if you have recorded with this controller and you want to see your footage, you can very easily click this settings button here, or not settings button, the picture button, and it will show you everything. Now, what is currently on the screen is a low resolution preview. It shows you that right on the top of the screen there. It is a low res preview. When you actually export this footage to your computer, it's going to be in the actual 4K footage or whatever you had your drone set to at the time of recording. Right now, I'm currently set to 4K 30 FPS. Also, if you swipe down from the top right-hand side of the screen, this is where you can set the brightness of the screen. So it wasn't at 100%, they probably do that to make your battery life a little bit better. We can crank that all the way up to 100%, and you can also adjust the volume here as well. Oh, and if you swipe down again, I didn't see that earlier, it just gives you a couple different notifications. All right, I meant to try this earlier. I wanna see, I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot without moving too much stuff around. I wanna see if this new controller will fit into the existing controller spot here. Oh, it's a little snug, but it does fit perfectly. Okay, I was worried that this controller being like an extra inch bigger, that it wasn't going to fit, but it totally does without needing to move anything else around. So they're probably still using this carrying case if you buy this drone brand new with a kit, with the PTD1 controller and everything. So That's a really good thing. All right, now I'm gonna be doing a whole nother video on going over the Potensic ATOM 2 with this controller, showing the actual flight experiences with it. Not only that, but the Potensic ATOM 2 just got a new firmware update that added a bunch of new features to this drone, and Potensic reached out to me and asked if I would do another video explaining all of that stuff and showing it actually in use with all of those new features. So make sure you guys are subscribed to help out that 1.4% metric as well, and you guys will get notified when that video goes live. That's it though for this video. If you guys want to pick this controller up, there is going to be an Amazon link in the description down below. That's it though for this video. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.